Up now with the new CEO, Mr. Dayle Brown. Tipping when you were last in harness racing, you weren't expecting me to be putting a microphone under your mouth when you come back, mate.
No, Paul, not at all. When I first started in 1996, I started under the regime of Ian McEwen, was chairman of Harness Racing Victoria, and Gerard Lawler was chief steward. So I started as a young steward in 1996 and did 11 years and worked right through and ended up as the manager of integrity until early 2007, where Betfair approached me for a role. I went to Betfair in Hobart and worked down there as the head of integrity for Australia when Betfair was starting its foray into wagering in the Australian market.
That's forgotten news, actually. I do remember that now that you've said that, and I forgot it at the time. Social media, it's a strange beast, and a lot of people get out there and they say what they think is true and all the rest. And there's been a lot of uproar, I suppose, about who gets appointed and who doesn't. It's a lengthy process from a board's point of view. I would imagine it's very tiring. From a person actually participating in it, it must be very tiring as well and very exhausting to go through jump through all the hoops, I suppose.
Well, it was a long process, Paul. When I thought about whether I would come back into racing, I'd been in a law firm for about 18 months. And when the position from CEO became vacant at Harness Racing Victoria, I thought to myself, I've been out for 18 months, I've got some energy left, and the process was quite long. We had to do a presentation, we went through a first interview, then did a presentation to the board about our vision. So I put a lot of work into that and what I thought I could do to help Harness Racing Victoria go forward and be sustainable and viable in the future. So that took a fair bit of time, and it was a very competitive process.
It was, and I mean, there's lots of rumours. It was down the final three, final four. I don't really care about rumours. I'm just glad that you've been appointed. I'm one from a point of view of a harness lover that we actually have a CEO. It's talking to people that they get a little bit lost, I think, when it appears there's no direction. I think Luke Spano did an awesome job. I don't think it was that out of control or anything like that. But as participants go, I think there was just that waiting to see what was going to happen.
Yeah, Luke did a great job in the interim. The executive management team that I've seen so far is an excellent team, and I'm going to get them more involved in the actual harness racing and the participants and the people as part of the executive team going forward. My vision for it initially is to ensure that the structure internally is working well. We've got everything right. And then secondly is to go back out to the industry and meet everyone one-on-one. And I'm going to do that through December and January. Probably a couple of meetings before Christmas and then some meetings in January. And I've decided to include in that Rob Auber will be coming along with us on the one-on-one road shows. I think Rob's got a great affinity with the industry, and I know Rob from the days when I was in harness racing back from 96 to 2007, and I think he's got a great rapport with the industry. And I'll be taking the executive management team like Luke Spano with me, Stephen Bell and Andrew English to meet some of the participants that might not know them, so they could speak to them one-on-one as well. What I want to do is get the feedback from the industry on the current strategic plan. The board have put a lot of effort into that plan. What's working, what's not, what would they like to see? I did a very similar thing with Tony Mestrov at the Greyhound Racing New South Wales. We went and met the whole industry one-on-one, and we came away with 20 great ideas. And then we conciliated those into what we thought would work, what we could implement straight away. And realised the $1 Million Chase race in Wentworth Park, which came out of that idea of meeting with the industry. So we're hoping to get some really good ideas from the participants and come back and start putting a sort of real sort of chest together of ideas, and then come out to the industry with a new strategic plan and get it implemented.
Two great names that you mentioned just there before, and nothing against Stephen Bell and Andrew English, but Luke Spano, I'm glad that he's staying because, as I said, his interview and what he brings to the table, he brings some very interesting things, and also Robbie Auber, because, I mean, Robbie's very, very passionate about harness racing. I did an interview with him and I said I'll only be 5 minutes, and I think it went for 15, but everyone enjoyed it. But we need passionate people. We need people that want to try and pump it up, don't we?
We do. We need those people on the road with us, and Rob brings a lot of experience, a lot of passion for the industry. He loves it, loves the people, and he'll be a great addition to help me go forward with a strategic plan and help the industry go forward as well. They've all got a lot of great ideas, and we want to get everyone else's ideas from around the state in putting harness racing where it deserves to be. Still is the premier state. We want it to stay the premier state. We want it to be sustainable and viable and go forward.
Nights like tonight, we've got the Hall of Fame happening here at Bendigo. We've got people rocking up behind us. They're great nights. We've got Trotters awards nights, things like that. People get together and actually enjoy harness racing. I think from what I do a lot of, interviewing people, I think people want a bit of involvement and be able to be part of a lot of these things.
I agree with you. It was just like yesterday, I went to Yarra Glen and met all the participants.
Wasn't it a great day?
It wasn't. All the participants I haven't seen in many, many years, and caught up with them and chatted with them, and it was like coming back to home. It was terrific to meet everyone, but people want to be involved and know what's going on. So Our job now at HRV is to make sure we communicate properly with everyone and give everyone a sense of where we're going, what the vision is, and we'll be doing that over the next few months once we've gone out and spoken to everyone.
There's no point complaining behind closed doors or on social media. Get out there and meet Luke, meet Dayle. Sorry, meet Luke, meet Robbie. Talk to Robbie. I'm sure these people will bring what the other people are saying back to you guys and make you guys aware of it.
We want you to come out and talk to us about, as I said before, what's working, what's not working, what you want to see more of, what can we do to really put our sport back into a space where we're the premier state of harness racing. We are still, but we're in a very competitive market. We're in a competitive market with gallops. The dogs are now they're a wagering product. They attract the 18 to 30-year-olds on the tablet. They're a betting proposition. But we've got a great story to tell. We've got to get back and tell the story about our people, about our horses, and we've got to get that relevance back again so people want to come to harness racing and people say, I want to be involved. And that's what it's about, that passion.
And that's exactly, I think that's one thing that, I find that passion. A lot of people are just going through the motions, it seems, and I think the passion is what we've got to try and get everyone back in. Take our horses with some passion and get some new owners and people get involved with the passion. There is plenty out there, but there's also plenty of people, I think, just tinkering along. Just very quickly, your background, I mean, everyone just thinks you're just a steward and that was all. You've touched off on a couple of them, but just quickly, I suppose, where you've had your hat in.
Oh, my hat's been in a few places. I was head of integrity for Australia for Betfair down in Hobart. I'm a lawyer by trade, so I was special counsel until recently in a private law firm in the city doing sport, crime, defamation law. I've been head of integrity at Racing Victoria for 10 years. And that period, my direct reports were Terry Bailey as the chief steward, Grace Forbes, who's the chief vet, Tim Robinson was head of integrity investigations and intelligence, and we kicked off the equine welfare piece at Race Victoria with the Equine Welfare Committee. I chaired that for the last 4 years, and we created what was called the control room. Now, the control room is a state-of-the-art analytical room that sits behind the stewards and has all the databases, and they talk to the stewards live on race day. As part of the shared services model, it'd be fantastic to implement that across the other two codes and give our codes, both from harness and greyhound perspective, a real cutting-edge technology piece which will help race day and data collection of betting and give us more of an ability to be able to do analysis on where our wagering is and what we want to concentrate on in terms of racing, timing and the clock with Sky.
And that will be happening?
That will be happening. That's
awesome.
Part of the shared services model going forward.
That's sensational. I better let you go because I'll be in trouble from Bianca and Tori and the girls are going to tell me off. But thank you very much for giving me 5 minutes of your time. Hopefully going down path we'll be able to sit down. We might be able to sit down for an hour or something because I can talk. But I just thought while you're here in Benny, I'd love to catch up with you and I appreciate your time. Hopefully you have a great night there. There's a lot going on tonight. There's a lot of veterans coming back too, so you'll have lots of stories going on for the rest of the night. But thank you, Dayle, for joining HRV.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much for giving me your time, mate.
Thanks very much. Thank you.